What do we agree on? What don't we agree on?
Is she trying to hint at something, guys?
Nothing we ain't talking about. Hey everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. If you are new, welcome for the first time. If you're not new, welcome back. So tonight we're excited. We're talking about something that's really near and dear to our heart, and it's been really pivotal for us in the beginning of this year, which is of course vision. All things vision. And this year we're doing a lot of things differently than in years previous, and so we're excited to kind of talk about some of those things that are just different for us this year.
Yeah. Just the things that God has just placed on our heart to begin the new year, to just get things in alignment, get things in order, and just seeking God for clarity on things where in the past we would just, do vision boards and all these different things, which is okay. But we just really want to be intentional this year with our time with God as we fasted and prayed at the beginning of the year, and just wanted to really hear, from Him on what He has for us this year and direction that He wants us to go.
So pretty much what that means is that we didn't write down anything and kind of form any solid ideas until after we took some time with God in the beginning of the year. And so typically this is not normal for us, but we felt led to do it this year, and we're glad we did, because then that allowed Him to show us some areas and bring His vision and His will forefront, instead of us kind of throwing our stuff at Him and asking His response, if you will.
Yeah. With that being said, we gonna, jump right in and, get it started. So yeah, there was basically different categories in our lives, where spiritually, physically, emotionally, mentally, financially, and wellness, and even a little bit of social media, where God just really was just showing us like, hey, this is the vision I have for you all for 2023.
Mainly what He responded with is kind of showing us how we have received a lot of wise counsel. So a lot of people He's blessed us in our life with, that have helped us to grow and are helping us to grow to new levels. And one thing He really put on our heart was the fact that, we can only get ourselves to a certain point. At some point, you really have to start asking for help for things. And throughout just the beginning couple weeks of the year, He has sent resources and people and help to really help us to hone in on areas that He wanted to grow in this year, which are all the areas that Dexter said. And we'll chat about those main areas next.
One of the first wise counseling ways that God has kind of spoke to us in the area has been with marriage, for sure, because
growth in marriage, specifically.
That's one of our ministries that God has blessed us with, that we really want to be intentional about this year and pay close attention to. So just with marriage, we really want to, press forward as we heard God telling us to continue to grow in our oneness with one another. And in doing so, we really want to get into counseling to just help us in our spiritual walk, with our intimacy, with our communication, and just all the things that God desires for marriage to look like. We want to just continue to grow in that in every opportunity possible.
So that's one area that right now we actually don't have. We have our mentors, Bree and Alvin, that are helping us, but we haven't really taken actionable steps in. But it's probably the only area that doesn't have a plan really built out yet, other than we know we want to get counseling. But that's one that God made really clear for us to really dive in and ask for help. The second area, well, not really second, but another area would be our spiritual growth and maturity. Spiritually, we're so grateful that our beloved friend and brother Haywood has amazing Bible study. We encourage all of you guys, if you're looking for a great Bible study to hop into, that's really going to break down the Word and help you to learn how to study the Word. He's so gifted in that, and so he's helped us on Thursday nights to kind of tap in with him and learn and study the Bible together, and it's really helped us to grow. And that's on one facet in our community. And on the other side, we have our church home, Nikeo Church. Shout out to Nikeo Church. And we're growing so much there as well, and our leaders and pastors are so loving and have been pouring in so much to us to help us to grow in that area. And so God has sent these resources and people and community to really help us grow and spiritually in ways that, again, we don't even know what we don't know. we can't get ourselves beyond where we are. And so he's helped us by sending us that help. And we encourage you guys too, if you're a designer girl in your relationship with God, it's okay to ask for help from others who've gone before you, or wise counsel. We all don't know it all. None of us know everything about, especially about God. There's no way to know. But by growing together, it really does help us to continue to hone. And God has definitely brought those resources and people and community in our life to help us grow in that area. And we are enjoying that. I feel like every Thursday we get on, we're learning something like new and exciting. And every time we go to church and have a new opportunity to serve there, it's just opening us up so much more to experience God in a different way and then share Him in a different way, which is amazing. So
yeah, that's good, babe. Another area that God just spoke to us about for wise counsel, for vision, will for sure be financial.
Financial.
Yeah, finances, I think is major and key when it just comes to marriage and, you know, just stewarding and following the Lord. We've just learned over the years, I think we both can say, just how pivotal it is to have your finances in order, because it just doesn't impact you, but it impacts generations after you. So we are really appreciative and thankful, you know, to God for His grace and mercy, just for keeping us throughout the years, and even now, you know, helping us see like in a different light. And shout out to my guy Brian,
our mentor Brian. That is a wise counsel for us in this area. Is our mentor Brian. God sent him at a time that we knew we wanted to start asking questions about generational wealth and family planning financially and what all that meant, but we just really didn't know. Again, we don't know what we don't know in a lot of these areas. And so he came in and has been working with us so closely, and it's really helped us to get a plan, put things in place to where we are having, you know, some things saved up for our children, and even learning about how to do that. How do we even get beyond our paychecks to save, and all those type of things. He's so helpful with that. And so he's our wise counsel point person for that area for sure.
Another area would be health and wellness.
Health and wellness. This is a fun one for us.
Just trying to basically get our priorities together on just how we take care of our bodies, just how we take care of things around us also. Because wellness just isn't about, you know, hey, going to work out and eating right, but it's literally about, you know, getting the proper sleep, you know, doing the proper things to take care of your skin and, you know, take care of the things you need. Hey, I need a day to just relax. You know, I need to take a Sabbath. Like, all those different things, you know, that we need to start to prioritize so that, you know, we can allow God to continue to pour more into us, and we can receive what He has for us, and we can live as long as we need to healthy lives for each other, for our children, and for all the people, you know, we need to reach to continue to spread the gospel to, for them to experience God through our union and through, you know, our family and, you know, what He's doing in our life. So we're thankful that, you know, we're able to see, you know, health and wellness in a different light now. So we can really, you know, walk that out with God this year, you know, obediently the right way.
Yeah, this area is really near and dear to my heart because I feel like this is an area where I've always had a heart. If you know me, you know I have a heart for health and wellness and fitness and all these things, and have had so many journeys with it. But a couple things have changed. One, I'm married, and so when you get married, sometimes it's a little hard to learn, okay, how are we going to be healthy together? You know, how is being healthy on my own is really different than being healthy now that we're living together and doing life together. And then also some things you just learn are not really healthy for longevity. I think a lot of the things that both of us had picked up were good seasonally, but they weren't good for life. And so we're trying to find now ways to integrate health and wellness practices for life. And so we're coming up under wise counsel again. We're in a program with Dr. Rachel Paul. She's an amazing woman. If you ever look her up, she has great programs for eating and things like that, where she really kind of breaks down mindset strategies and also breaks down like ways to integrate food into the home. Whether you're a mom and have a family, or you're a new couple, or even if you're single, if you're in college, if you're getting married, she has so many different plans. But it's been really helpful to us, and it was hard for me really to ask for help in that area because I felt like, oh, I've done, you know, Gen Health with Chelsea, I've done bodybuilding, I know how to do this stuff. I don't really need to ask for help. And I was really bumping into that rut of like, okay, I really do need to ask for help. You know, I'm not seeing the results that I want. I really don't even know what it's supposed to look like in the season of our lives. I need to ask for help. And so that Dr. Rachel Paul's program is definitely the wise counsel we're getting in that area. And it's made such a difference. I mean, it's made such a difference. Even in a couple of weeks, we've come down a few pounds, okay? And just feeling lighter, more energy, and doing it in new ways, and we can finally find our rhythm for our family for health, so that when we do have children and things like that, we can bring them into that rhythm instead of having to figure it out every time when something shifts.
And then one of the last things that me and her over the years have, you know, tried to find the balance in would be, you know, just social media, and just those platforms that
this one right here.
Yeah, we know that we are engaged with people on, and you know, people like to see us on. We're just learning the healthy ways of, you know, using it to be able to spread the gospel, and just allow people into our lives to help them see, you know, what God's doing through us, just so it can be encouraging to others. And you know, shout out to Jordan Nicholson.
She's our wise counsel.
Yeah, she's been a major help with us. We joined one of her plans that she has, and we've learned so many different things just about how to brand ourselves, and you know, just how to use IG in a different light, and just being comfortable on the platforms with, you know, so many different things that's going on in entertainment and stuff like that. We want to use it in a healthy light, you know, and not be consumed by the world and all the things of the world. So we're truly thankful, you know, that we're seeking wise counsel in that area, putting the boundaries in place for ourselves also to make sure that we're not, you know, being consumed with just all of that, but just putting stuff out that, hey, we enjoy, we're being ourselves, and most importantly, God is glorified with what we're doing. So that's why we're here, YouTube family.
YouTube family, and thank you so much for just a plug for all of our subscribers. Thank y'all so much. You guys have been so faithful, and as it's continuing to grow, we're so grateful that you guys tune in and tap in with us. We enjoy doing this kind of stuff and chatting and finding ways, and even in the comments, like responding back.
Yeah, keep chatting with us. Keep letting us know what y'all want to see.
So fun.
If you got questions, if you want us to talk about certain things, if you know, want to know more about the Lord, like, hey, we here. And hey, follow IG.
Our Instagram, it'll be our tag will probably, I'll pop it back up here somewhere, but our tag might have already come up by this point, but it's with the Alexanders, doing fun stuff over there as well. But that's definitely one area that I'm glad, and we'll have a whole separate episode where we kind of talk about our struggles and with it in the past, and why it's been so hard to use it in the healthy light, and kind of some of the lessons that we had to learn, the tough lessons we learned with social media before, because it's been a journey. So that's a story for another day.
It has.
But that's another area we're just grateful that we're able to grow in now and experience God's love and peace in it, love each other on it boldly, and all of that. So those are the main areas. Those are the things that we're doing different. The main thing is that we're asking for help. If we could sum up this video, and one thing is that the main thing that we're doing this year differently is asking for help.
And it's
not
okay.
trying to do it by ourselves.
Yeah, it's okay. I think that's very healthy, because we know in God's word, he didn't desire for us to be alone. You know, so even in marriage, we're able to, you know, lean on other believers and other people who God has placed in position to be able to help us, you know, and push forward to the things that he has for us to continue to reach people, you know. So yeah, that's amazing.
What would you say, I think, of all those areas, what would you say would be probably like the hardest one?
The hardest
to grow in. If you have one. I'm on the spot.
Probably financially. I think financial for me, just being a husband and being the leader of the household, and just continuously learning how to be submitted to the Lord, just for his vision for our house, and, you know, continuously hearing from him on, you know, certain things and being led by him. I think that's the continuous growth for me always, and just continuously, you know, being in tune with the Holy Spirit, being the leader of our household, so I can, you know, pour that back into our family. So I think I'm for sure being stretched and learning, because, you know, hey, you know, there's things that we not taught, you know, from a younger age, and now, you know, that we're kind of older, trying to figure those things out. And, you know, I have the Holy Spirit who's able to lead me, help me, and people in, you know, he's placed in my life to be able to also guide. So I think that's what it would be for me. Yeah. What about you?
For myself, I'd probably say, okay, it's a tie between financial and health and wellness. Financial because I feel like with a lot of this learning and wise counsel stuff, there's also a lot of unlearning that has to happen in every area. So there's a lot of like unlearning, or maybe it's appropriate, but not just for the season you're in, or maybe not just for you. And so we're having to learn financially what's appropriate for our season. And I feel like for a long time I've applied financial principles to like in general to a life, but haven't looked at what we need in this season, how we need to move right now for where what God is doing right now, what he wants to do in the future. And so there's no way to really know that. So a lot of the unlearning, I'm like, God, is this wrong? Like, what's, you know, like it just feels wrong sometimes when you unlearn stuff, and some stuff is fine. It's just for another season. It's not that season anymore. So I think that's why that is hard for me to go in. And I think health and wellness again, because a lot of times I always talk about, oh, you know, I used to bodybuild, or I used to do this stuff, whatever, and I'm really ready for something new. And I love that it's new and refreshing or whatever, but it's still hard. Like when you do something for so long a certain way, it's very hard to unlearn. So it's hard to like hear Dr. Rachel Paul say, you know, don't push yourself so hard in the gym. You don't always have to go so hard. You can be gentle with yourself and fuel yourself appropriately. And every day doesn't need to be I'm like, every day needs to be a push day. Why wouldn't every day be a push day? And I'm learning now, like it really doesn't have to be. Like there's just so many different approaches to taking care of your body. And I'm used to what I'm used to, you know, so unlearning some of those things and not being so married to those things if they don't fit this season right now has been hard. So I think because of that, those two areas are hard, but God is gracious. He's helped me to grow, you know, and yeah, and it's producing fruit. I mean, all these areas we're seeing actual change, which is the blessing in that.
It's a lot of pruning,
yeah, a lot of pruning,
and a lot of fruit and branches, you know, being produced for us to, you know, learn and be used. It's dope. I got a question. What are you looking forward to this year that you're excited about?
For this year? Well, it depends on what you're, I mean, I'll say this. I'm looking forward to, again, two things. I'm looking forward to making this house a home. So if you guys seen our vlog, we recently purchased our new home back in the summertime. Check out the vlog. It's really good. The testimony of God did an amazing miracle. And so, you know, you can see little furnishings around here, but there are other things that I really, not little, they're big. But there are other things that I really want to do, like upstairs, just to really make it come together. We haven't really done it all quickly, and I know it can take time, but that's one thing I'm looking forward to, is really adorning the house with pieces that make it our own. So that's something I'm really, really passionate about, more than I probably have ever been passionate about home interior decorating. Now that I have a house, it's like on a whole new level. It's crazy. And then I'll probably also say I'm really looking forward to family planning. Family planning, figuring out, you know, having those conversations about parenting, having the conversations about financially preparing for a child, having the conversations about what do we agree on, what don't we agree on.
Is she trying to hint at something, guys?
Nothing we ain't talking about. But, you know, I think that, like, I think it's exciting, you know, to have those conversations. Like, we could talk about, okay, what are our standards on discipline? You know, and like, of course, when it happens, like, well, most of this stuff changed probably, but it's still fun to talk about now. Like, we've never talked, I never had this conversation and really it be consequential for someone else's life.
Yeah, that's good.
And even to imagine, like, children that look like us, like, what they gonna look like? They gonna look like me. They probably gonna look like me. I feel like a girl might look like you. I actually don't know. So, yeah. We'll have to see, but those are two things I'm excited. Okay, what are your excitement points for this year?
I'm one of just really important, just spiritually. I mean, I'm just excited to see, you know, the growth of whatever God has for me, for us, and you know, just continuously giving Him yes, you know, to everything He has for us and calls us to, and just continuously growing and maturing and learning, unlearning. You know, just being faithful, you know, faithful stewards, faithful followers, and just showing the love of God, you know, and experiencing His love, His grace, His mercy, and sharing the gospel. I'm excited, you know, for
Yeah.
And always just being able to
That's a big one.
love God, you know, and him love me back and grow in my relationship with him. So yeah, another year of maturity.
Another year of maturity.
Yeah.
So that's our 2023 vision, if you will, the things that we're doing differently. So comment below if you have things that you feel like you're doing differently, things that you feel like God is leading you on doing. We can join you guys in praying over those areas, of course. Be sure to comment that below and like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click the bell as well, notifications, so you don't miss anything. But we're excited to keep going. So we have some more fun content coming your way. And we'll catch you guys in our next video.
Yeah.
Love y'all.
Thank y'all.
Bye.
Peace.